Good day. Today we will be discussing on the 5 major accounts and preparing the chart of accounts. So we have here the first account, which is asset. So based on the definition, it is the first part of the accounting equation, and it has its classification also. The first classification is current asset. We have also non-current asset. We will be discussing on that later on. So in here, we have current assets are all assets which are expected to be realized within the ordinary course of business or a span of 12 months. So when we say current, this has to do with the longevity of that certain asset. So we have here example, we have cash. So cash is the most liquid among all the asset because this has to do with the disposing. You can acquire immediately and you can dispose it immediately. So in here we have also lots of uh, description of this cash. So this has to do with the bills and the coins, and this also includes checking accounts and saving accounts. So cash also includes checks that are used for payment also. Then we have accounts receivable. By the way, we have a chart of accounts, and I will be sharing that one to you in the GC. So with this classification, it has lots of things to discuss. So the next one is accounts receivable. The balance of money due to a firm for goods or services delivered or used but not yet paid for by customers. So this has to do with, are you familiar with the debts? Okay. So accounts receivable is that the situation in here is that uh, if you are the seller, you sold a certain goods, and yet it is not yet paid. So utang for short. So why it became, or it has to do with accounts receivable, the norm is that you don't have it is already sold but you don't have still the money in your hands, so that is on account still. The third one is short-term investment. So it contains the company's investment in low risk, highly liquid assets such as bonds and stocks, which are expected to be liquidated in less than a year. Maybe you've discussed about bonds and stocks, but I will share something. Bonds, these are assets issued by the government, and stocks, bonds and stocks really issued by the company and the government also. But it has its longevity. If we consider that one as short term, it must be liquidated less than a year. So we have also notes receivable. It is a promise to receive cash, and it is more formal. So if you're familiar with promissory note, this is the same, considering that we have there the term, the maturity, and the amount which will be, or the amount you will be paying. So became so it become receivable, considering that you don't have the money still. So if that promissory note will end its life, So you can convert that one into uh, cash, and you have to disregard these notes. So this will be um, maybe in some other module we can discuss how to convert or how to change these notes receivable to cash, and what are the accounting principles regarding to this. Okay. The fifth one is inventory or inventories. These are goods available for sale. So inventories are present in a manufacturing business, in a retail, wholesale, and so on. So these inventories are not present in a service business. So these are uh, you will think of the different kinds of businesses. So there are businesses that do not have inventories like service business. We have also prepayments. So this is amount simply paid in advance for goods or services anticipated to be received by the entity in the future. So one of example of this is that prepaid insurance, the rent, the utilities. Another example is the prepaid card. You pay in advance, and you utilize the goods and services after you made the payment. So another classification of asset is this: non-current asset. So asset that do not meet the current asset classification are non-current. So what else? Or what are maybe some example of this? So we have here investments. So short-term and long-term investment varies according to its classification of assets. So bonds and stocks are short-term investment. So the investment that we are talking here are the company's investment which you didn't expect to realize within a year. So the longevity of these bonds and stocks matters as to its classification of asset. If it's short term or less than a year, liquidated within a year, it's current. But in if it will not realized in more than a year, then it is another story. So example for this investment are those payment in real estate, long-term notes, the treasury bills, uh, the funds that are deducted, okay, from the, if you are employed, if you're familiar with this, or your parents are employed, they have this SSS, JSIS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, and so on. So why do we consider this one as investment? Because there are benefits to be enjoyed in the future. Okay. Another one is fixed assets. So these are the most tangible assets. So tangible, makita, mahikap, and so on. It is longest serving assets that business institution or company can have. They cannot be converted into cash since they are regularly placed as means of production. So, pagka nga lang fix, for instance, we have the land. Can we uh, can we move that one to other place? No, it's not. So These are the examples: land improvements, building, machineries, equipment, future, furniture, and fixtures. So we can have, for instance, machinery. We can use this one. We can use this one in production. So why it falls? So there's fixed asset, land, buildings. We have also property, plant, and equipment. It is fixed because considering its usefulness and its life, maybe we can have um, depreciation on that 3 years or 5 years instead. So these fixed assets can also be PPE, property, plant, and equipment. Another one is intangible asset. So unlike fixed assets that are tangible, these are intangible assets, lack physical substance, yet they are realizable over long period of time. For example, we have patents, the copyright, the franchises, goodwill, trademark, and licenses. So we cannot, although we can have it on a paper, but we can see it nor touch everything. Another one is other assets. These are all remaining assets which do not fall on the above mentioned. The three rather mentioned are classified as other assets, but it is discouraged to use this account to encourage more distinct classification of the asset. This account will be used for those assets that are very much unique and hard to classify. The second account is the liability. Another thing is that we have also classification, current liability and non-current liability. So for current liabilities, these are liabilities that must be settled or paid out within 12 months. So cash is not always involved in paying. A liability can include conversion and refinancing. So we have the different types of current liability. We have accounts payable. In accounts payable, the entity of the paying side is the borrower, while in the accounts receivable, the entity of the receiving side is the creditor. So why this is the contra account of accounts receivable. So if that certain account, if you are the buyer and yet you acquire or you buy something without cash, so that is payable against you. So it becomes or it happens to be called accounts payable, considering that you will be the one to pay for it. So please clarify on things that you have to use if you are the seller, if you are the buyer, as to its account. We have notes payable. Contract account of that one is the notes receivable. So notes payable are written promises. So again, this is somewhat like promissory note. And there is also the certain amount of money, the term, and all the other important details should be in the promissory note. Usually it arises from larger trade or business transaction, which it is so necessary for additional formality. So the importance of having this written document is for formality. The third one is accrued liability. So These are all other accounts which the company should pay arising from the normal course of business throughout the operating cycle. It is very much possible that the company has already received the benefits from certain events yet has still been unable to pay for it. For instance, uh, hopefully you discuss about accruals. So this accrued liabilities is payable. We have this benefits, received benefits from certain events and yet has still been unable to pay for it. For instance, the electricity you consume but not yet paid, consume the service but not yet paid. Another one is current portion of long-term debts. These are long-term debts payable with the coming year because of the large principal or other long-term debts. Usually, they have features that allow the borrower to pay the debts by installments from a single maturity date. So, if you are also familiar with in business math, you have there the table of amortization. This has to do with this, the long-term debt. So you have, for instance, you borrowed 1 million and yet you cannot pay that one in uh, 6 months or 1 year. That's why uh, even though this has a single maturity. For instance, your term that there is 2 years. Uh, it is considered current portion of long-term debt, considering that the amount is huge. So we have here other payables. So these are payables that can be paid within a year but do not fall on the classification listed above. The examples are dividends payable and interest payable, and also the payables arising from lawsuits. So dividends payable, this is, or shall we say, dividends are income. So how are we going to explain this one? For instance, in a certain cooperative or a certain corporation, they issue dividends, and these dividends are the profit out of your, for instance, in a cooperative, you have, you are a member, for instance, member of the CCO, and there is an annual, what you call it, gathering, and they announce, oh, this is the percentage of our dividends. So dividends, these are profit or income of the entity that should be shared or given to the member owner of that certain entity. Also, we have interest payable. For instance, you have an existing loan. So you have their interest. You are going to pay for the interest. So that falls on that payable thing. Another classification of liability is non-current liability. So non-current liabilities form the residual portion of liabilities. These are liabilities which the entity expects to settle after more than a year or have the legal or contractual capacity to defer payment accordingly. So this has to do with the longevity of that certain liability. Bonds payable. So these are more formal than notes payable, often in huge sum of money and in longer term that contain an agreement called as bond indenture. It has stated interest rates which may differ from prevailing market interest rates, causing their fair values to change from time to time. They are usually issued by banks, government, and huge corporations. Term bonds are bonds which have principal that mature in a single date. Serial bonds are bonds that mature in multiple dates. So, uh, bonds payable mostly in the Philippines, it's only the government and big corporation who issue this one. So this is a written document. For instance, uh, the LGU of Valencia will be having a very big project and yet they don't have the funds. So they will invite investors and the LG will be issuing bonds, and that certain bonds contain the amount, the interest, and the term. It is a document, and uh, that will become a payable or a liability in the on the side of the LGU because they are the one to pay that one. So in some other one, if you are the investor and it will be part of your asset. Okay, so this is again has to be formal. The third one is equity or owner's capital or stockholders equity. So some books or references uh, describe this one as capital only or equity only. So that is just the same. So this is also present in our accounting equation. So we have here equity is the residual interest of the owners in the assets of the business. Equity is called owner's capital in the case of sole proprietorship or partnership. It is called shareholders' equity or stockholders' equity in the case of corporation. Hopefully, you will be able to describe